Lisbon, November 1st, 1755. It was All Saints' Day, one of the most important religious days of the year. The Portuguese capital was alive. Churches were filled with worshippers. Candles burned before altars. Bells marked the morning. In the streets below, Lisbon's narrow lanes were crowded with people moving between homes, markets, churches, and the waterfront. The city itself was one of the great ports of Europe. Its ships connected Portugal to Brazil, Africa, Asia, and the wider Atlantic world. Merchants filled its commercial districts. Churches and convents dominated its skyline. Stone buildings climbed the hills above the Tagus River. Nothing suggested that the city was about to experience one of the most destructive natural disasters in European history. Then, at around 9:40 in the morning, the ground began to move. And it did not stop. The first shock tore through Lisbon with extraordinary force. Buildings shook. Roofs and floors collapsed. Walls cracked. In churches, the danger was multiplied by the crowds gathered inside. Heavy masonry and stone structures began coming down on people who had nowhere to run. Across the city, streets were filled with falling debris. The earthquake did not simply damage Lisbon. It transformed parts of the city into ruins. Later historical reconstruction has shown that the destruction was not identical everywhere. Some areas suffered catastrophic structural damage, while other sections were less severely affected by the initial shaking. But the earthquake was only the beginning. Because Lisbon had been struck on a religious holiday, thousands of candles and lamps were burning throughout the city. As buildings collapsed, fires began. And soon, Lisbon was facing a second catastrophe. The earthquake had shattered the city's ability to function. Water supplies were disrupted. Buildings were blocked by rubble. Thousands of people were dead, injured, trapped, or searching for relatives. And then flames began spreading through the ruins. The fires were fed by the enormous amount of combustible material inside Lisbon's buildings. Wooden structures, furniture, roofs, stores, and warehouses provided fuel. What followed was not one isolated fire. It became a citywide disaster. The flame spread through neighborhoods already weakened by the earthquake, consuming buildings that had survived the initial collapse. Modern research suggests that fire caused much of the property destruction in downtown Lisbon, sometimes overshadowing the structural damage caused directly by the earthquake. For those still alive, the problem was now brutally simple. The buildings were dangerous. The streets were filled with debris. The city was burning, and there was nowhere obvious to escape. So thousands moved toward the one place that appeared safe, the waterfront.